Hello everyone, welcome to Saturday Core and Calisthenics. My name's Devin. If you are tuning in through my website, if you wouldn't mind just clicking on the video and in YouTube, leave a comment so I know who's in my class today. If you're joining me through the Stronghold Climbing Gym community, feel free to do the same. Click on that video link. That will bring you to YouTube. And then if you would be so kind as to leave a comment so I know who's participating today. We will get started here in about 2 minutes. All you need for class today is a yoga mat, some water. If you have yoga blocks, that would be very helpful, or something to sit on. Okay, and like I said, we'll get started in 2 minutes. All right, let's find a nice comfortable seat. If you have some yoga blocks, go ahead and sit on those. You can sit with your feet tucked underneath, is how I usually like to sit, or you can sit cross-legged, your choice, or sit on the front of a chair. Okay. Sit up nice and tall. Take a moment to really feel your sit bones, your hips and pelvis on whatever surface you're sitting on. Feel free to close your eyes, tap into your breath. The most important function of the core, besides holding us upright and making sure that we have good posture, is to help us breathe. So we're going to start today with a little breathing practice, then get into some kind of mobility work and strength work for the wrists and for the shoulders, and then we're going to do a little core circuit at the end to finish. Okay. For now, find that comfortable seated position. Feel your weight on whatever surface you're sitting on. Go ahead and close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath and take notice of where you're feeling it. Let's take a nice big inhale together through the nose and exhale all your air. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep breathing in this rhythm, counting in your own head. 5 counts in, nice and slow, and then 5 counts out. Good. Keep breathing in this rhythm, and I'm going to explain the next thing we're going to do with our breath here. We're going to try to activate the deepest part of our core, which is called the transverse abdominis. It's this muscle that wraps around the entire lower part of the torso, kind of looks like a corset underneath all the muscle here. And the way that we activate it is by a really, really deep, long exhale. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a nice breath in, and then we're going to exhale and we're going to count. We're going to count out loud, and we're going to see how high we can count, okay, on one breath. You know you've reached your limit when there's no sound coming out of your mouth because there's no air left in your lungs. Okay, so we're really squeezing that core in, pulling the belly button in towards the spine. All right, let's try it together. Nice big inhale. Exhale, count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Continue going on your own count. We'll go for a few cycles. I'm going to turn my microphone off so my counting isn't getting in the way of yours. Nice. Go ahead and finish whatever round you're on, and then we'll move on. Hopefully you can feel from those long exhales that core really tightening in. It's a good tool to have if you're doing an exercise like climbing or something that's really vigorous, especially if there's like a big move that you need to make. Try doing it on a really long exhale. That way your whole core is tightening in. It'll support your movement. All right, in the same position, let's get our wrists and fingers starting to warm up. Open the hands as wide as you can, and then make the tightest fists you can. Open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. As fast as you can, switching in between. Open, close, open, close, open, close. Feel free to move your arms around, whatever you want to do. Just keep opening and closing those hands. Good, and stop, shake it out. Let's transition onto all fours. We're going to do a little series to warm up the wrists and the fingers. Okay, in this position, you're going to press your fingers into the floor, extending your wrists, going up onto the tips of your fingers, and then slowly lowering back down. Okay, going up and down. If this is difficult for you, move the knees in, shorten the lever, up, down. If you want more of a challenge, move the knees back. Okay, if you're crazy strong, if you're like a 13B, 14A climber, maybe try it from here. Let's go for 10 to 15. Up and then slow lower. Good. Finish up with one or two more. Next exercise, I like to call this the cat claw. Okay, so your hands are going to be perfectly flat on the floor. And then what I want to do is I want to scrunch my fingers in. Okay, so I'm scrunching my fingers in, trying to pull the mat with my fingers. Okay, so we scrunch and then release. Scrunch, release. Let's do 10 to 15. Scrunch, hold the contraction for a second, release. Scrunch and release. Scrunch and release. Speaking of cat claws, hello. Scrunch and release. Good, and release. For this next one, we're going to go down so that our elbows are on the floor, fingers are touching in the middle. Okay? Then straighten the elbows so the back of the hand is on the floor. From here, I'm going to basically make a fist and then slowly lower back into that position. Okay? Tight fist, slow lower. If you want to spread the hands out a little bit wider, that's okay if that makes it more comfortable. Good. 5 or 6 more. And good. Nice. Shake it out. Shake it out. Back onto all fours. We're going to move up from the wrists and work with the shoulder blades. So for this exercise, we're going to be in this all fours position. We're going to keep our spine neutral. So you want to imagine that your spine is fused together so it's not going to extend or flex. We're going to keep the arms straight. And we're going to drop the spine in between the shoulder blades, squeezing them together. Okay? And then we're going to press the floor away, sliding and wrapping the shoulder blades around the rib cage. Okay? So we lower, squeeze the shoulder blades together, we press and wrap. Okay? Just like the finger push-ups, if you want to make it a little easier, bring the knees in. If you want to make it a little bit harder, go to that modified kind of push-up position here. If you're feeling up for it, maybe try it from a plank position. All right, let's do 10 to 15 on your own count. Go. Good. Finish up with 1 or 2 more if you have it. Then we'll move on. All right, one last little warm-up exercise, and then we are going to get into our core circuit. Let's go ahead, come to that all fours position. Lift the knees, and then lift the hips up into the air for a nice downward dog. Go ahead and bend the knees so you can really lengthen through the spine. And then once you find length in the spine, go ahead and start to reach the heels towards the floor. Take a breath or 2 here. Nice. We're going to inhale, come forward to plank. You're going to step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. If you can't get it all the way there, go halfway and then assist yourself. We're going to twist into that front leg, bringing the chest in towards the inside of the knee. Lift the hand up into the air. Reach through the back heel. Take 2 or 3 breaths. Nice. Back to plank. Switch, left foot outside of left hand. Twist into the left leg. 2 or 3 breaths. Good. Back to plank. Downward facing dog. Good. Back to plank. Right foot outside of right hand. Twist. Plank. Left foot outside of left hand. Twist. Plank. Downward facing dog. Nice. One more round. forward. Right foot outside of right hand, twist. Plank, left foot to left hand, twist. Good, down. And rest. Nice. While we're resting, I'm going to demonstrate the next 4 moves. So this is going to be our circuit. It's going to be a 4-move circuit. I'll go through and explain all of them. Don't worry about remembering everything. As we go through it together, I'll kind of re-talk you through the major points. So first 2 exercises are isometric exercises. First one's called beast pose. We're going to set up on all 4s, and then we're going to bring the knees in just a little bit so they're almost in line with the belly button. We want neutral shoulders, so remember that exercise that we just did with the scapula up and down. Try to find a nice middle point. Pull the belly button up and in, tuck the toes, and then lift the knees an inch off the floor, and then you hold here. You can stay there if you want to challenge. Try lifting a foot, maybe lift another foot. Without shifting the weight, try to lift a hand, maybe a hand and a foot. Okay, play around. That's number 1. Number 2, we're going to flip around onto our butts. Arms behind us, fingers pointing away towards the back wall or out to the sides. Out to the sides will be a little bit easier on the wrist. If you have sensitive wrists, you can also do this up on blocks. Okay? In this position, we're going to open the shoulders, lift the chest, drive the shoulder blades down the back, head back, lift the butt off the floor, and hold. Same thing that we did in beast pose. We can practice from here lifting different limbs. Again, try to avoid shifting weight as much as possible. Maybe lift a hand and a foot. Okay, so that's exercise number 2. Exercise number 3, we are going to come to a child's pose position, but our toes are going to be tucked. Version 1, you'll keep the knees on the floor, drive your hands into the mat, pulling your weight forward, tap one shoulder, tap the other shoulder, push up and back. If you want more of a challenge, you'll do this with knees lifted. Okay, so my knees are off the floor, pulling my weight forward, shoulder tap, push up, back. Okay? And then the last one is going to be an isometric bridge, where we just hold here. All right, that was a lot of information I just threw at you. Let's go through one at a time, starting with beast pose. We're going to be doing all of these for time. Let me get my timer. All right, getting into beast pose on all 4s, knees just in from neutral. Get the core engaged, pull that belly button up and in, press the floor away, and lift. Good. Feel free to stay here if this feels like enough of a challenge. If you want more of a challenge, go ahead and without shifting weight side to side, try lifting limbs. Almost there. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Good. Flipping around for crab pose. Again, fingers can be pointing straight back. If this is hard on your wrists, go ahead and point the fingers out to the sides, or use some blocks for your hands, okay? Getting into the position. Lift the butt. We want to think of lifting the pelvis in the back, so not tucking under. Lifting, opening the shoulders, driving them down the back, head back. And we hold. If this feels like enough for you, stay here. If you want, try lifting a foot. Maybe lift the other foot. Maybe lift a hand. Maybe lift the other hand. Maybe lift hand and foot. Again, the focus here really needs to be in those arms and shoulders opening and driving down. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down. Nice, shake it out, shake it out. All right, third exercise. Again, we talked through two versions. First version, knees will be on the floor, toes tucked, starting in a child's pose. Really actively pressing your hands into the floor, pulling your body forward by driving those hands into the mat. Then shoulder tap, lower, up, and repeat. If you want to make it harder, lift the knees. Let's go ahead and try to do like 8 to 10, okay? Starting now. Remember to breathe. Good. Finish up with 1 or 2 more if you have it. And good. Rest. Last exercise in the circuit. Almost there. I'm going to give you 3 different options for this one, okay? Starting with the easiest. Keeping the core engaged, drive the feet into the floor, bridge, and hold. That's option 1. Option 2, in this position, without shifting the weight in your hips, try extending one leg, put it back down, extend the other leg, put it back down. Okay, switching back and forth. Last version, if you're feeling up for a challenge, legs are going to be extended, okay? Big toes touching, so you're internally rotating in the hip and at the ankle. Arms by your sides, driving your elbows into the floor. Squeeze your glutes, lift your entire back, body off the floor, and hold. Okay, so those are the 3 options. 1, 2, or 3. Choose whichever one you want to do, and let's begin. I'll demonstrate all 3 again, starting with number 1. Good, number 2. Really driving those feet into the floor, squeezing your butt, keeping your core engaged. Good, I'll demonstrate number 3. Big toes together, driving the elbows into the mat like you're trying to do a row. Squeeze your glutes, engage your back, lift everything off the floor, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Nice. So that's the circuit. That was the first time through. We're going to do it one more time. It should be easier the second time because you know what you're doing. Harder the second time because you're a little bit tired. Take this minute of rest to grab a little bit of water. Maybe stretch out the wrists. Again, if you are tuning in and watching right now through the Stronghold community, if you wouldn't mind just clicking on that video link that was posted in the Facebook page, go to YouTube and maybe leave a comment, say hi so I know who has taken my class today. Feel free to follow me too. I do live classes 3 days a week. So if you like this, you can join my other classes. We do a lot of mobility work, prehab work, which is really good for athletes and climbers. All right, 30 more seconds, and we will get into final round of the circuit. Okay, start getting into position here on all fours for beast pose. All right. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Lift up. Lift limbs if you want. Try to keep your breathing nice and easy, okay? While breathing is hard in exercises like this, the more you're able to do it, the more endurance you'll have when it comes to exercises that require total core activation and contraction. If any of you are singers, try singing while you do planks. It's a good practice. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, down. Nice. Flipping over for crab pose. Fingers pointing away or out to the sides, your choice. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. Rolling the shoulders back and open, lifting the chest, lifting the pelvis up in the back, not curving under. Press the floor away actively with your arms. And then maybe try to lift some limbs. Five more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. All right. Our little push-up combination, starting in child's pose. Easier version with knees on the floor, harder version with knees up. Pulling the body weight forward, shoulder tap, push up, repeat. Let's go for maybe 6 to 8 or more if you want. Starting now. Good. Finish up with 1 or 2 more. And done. Nice. Last exercise of the class. Holding whatever bridge you want. Going for 45 seconds. Squeezing your glutes. I'll start with 1 and then demonstrate the other 2. Begin. This is number 1. Squeeze the glutes. Make sure there isn't excessive rounding in the back. Okay, this is not a yoga bridge, not a back bend pose. We want the torso straight and that activation coming from here. Okay. Version 2, extending one leg at a time, making sure your hips don't drop down as you extend each leg. Good. And number 3, big toes together, bridging up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down. Take a moment here on your back. Reach your arms way overhead. Reach with your right hand and your right foot. Then reach with your left hand and your left foot. Then reach with all your limbs. Make yourself as long as possible. Nice. Go ahead and roll over onto your stomach. Come up onto your forearms. A nice low Cobra Pose or Sphinx Pose. Take a second here just to stretch out the front of your body. Maybe move your head side to side. Maybe tuck the chin and lift it. Really try to find some length here in your spine and in the front of your body. Nice. Go ahead and tuck the toes. Bring the hands underneath your shoulders. Press up and back for child's pose. The typewriter our fingers all the way over to the left, stretching and opening the right waist. Good. Typewriter the fingers all the way over to the right. Stretching and opening the left waist. It's a good opportunity to take some nice slow breaths. Maybe that inhale for 5, exhale for 5 that we started the class with. Good. Coming back to neutral child's pose. Shift your weight forward to all fours. Take your right hand, thread it underneath your left, bringing your right shoulder to the floor. Good. Coming up, and left arm underneath right. Good, and back up onto all fours. Thank you very, very much. That is going to be the class today. Hopefully that was a nice kind of 30-minute workout to get you feeling good on this Saturday. This is one of the hottest days that I've had in my apartment, so I'm sweating. I don't know about you. Yeah, thank you again to everyone who tuned in through my website and to all of those who tuned in through the Stronghold community. I'll be teaching again next Saturday. I also teach Monday and Wednesdays. I'm not offering those currently to Stronghold members unless you're interested. If you are interested, you can go to my website, thelovegym.org, to learn more about that. Hopefully, we'll be able to get back into teaching in person soon so I can work with people in person. It'll be so lovely. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I'll see you next week. I'll stick around for a minute or two if anyone has any questions. Jared Clark, don't worry that you missed it. You can always rewatch. It'll be posted on YouTube, so you can always go back and watch the class. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to tune off.